Okay, take two. Let's see if I can get through it this time. I don't know. My compute, my phone, it likes to act really squirrely while it's charging. I don't know that I have enough juice to. I'm gonna see if I can get on through my computer. Give me just a second, everyone. All right, Nicole. I may have to drop off because my phone, when I'm charging, it just gets super hot, and then it loses connection while I'm live. I don't know. I think it just doesn't like the live feed at the same time. So give me 1 second. Let me try to get through these technical difficulties, and then we'll get started. It would be that. So it's funny. So I need like both my computer, and now my computer won't connect to the internet. So, all right, give me just a second, ladies. I think I'm going to try and get everybody extended again, but let me see if I can get connected. So unfortunately, I cannot see your comments on my phone at the same time that I'm live, which I just think bites. All right. I think it's just crazy because I used to be able to do that, so I don't know why Facebook has. That makes no sense. Like if you're on live, you need to be able to see the comments of the people that you're talking to. Okay. All right, it's thinking. We'll get back started. I'll have to combine these two videos together. Seems like a lot of work. I probably won't do all that. All right, so but just a second while my computer catches up. I swear to God, this is like the slowest thing in the world. I don't know. I think because at night people are, everybody's using AT&T service. So, all right, there I am. Okay. All right, so I'm live now, and let me get your comments up so I don't miss your comments, and then we invite some folks. Okay. Okay. Now where was I? Okay. I don't see any comments, so I don't think you guys have said anything on this version of the live. Let me just see if I can re-invite some more people. Lord have mercy, I have to start over again. Okay. All right. sure that I get the people who I know who are participating in the challenge on. Okay. Okay, ladies. Thank you for sticking with me. All right, so let's see if my phone doesn't blow up. It doesn't, like, you know, have like a little coronary, because it does get super hot. All right, so what I was saying is that you need a way to attract strangers to your offers, right? You want to attract as many people who fit your ideal market as you possibly can. And the best and most economical way to do that nowadays is through paid advertising. Traditional advertising, not so much, right? In order for you to do TV ads or radio ads or even print ads, you have to usually spend thousands of dollars to do that. But now with social media marketing, you can pay for as little as a cent per video view, as little as I usually try and say when you start off with Facebook ads, about $5 a day per ad set for Facebook ads, to at least get in front of thousands of people with your offers, right? Again, at the stranger level, you're not trying to give away your services. You're really trying to exchange information for contact information, right? You give something of value, they give you back the contact information as valuable for them. So the key here is you've got to really be thinking of this as an all attack, right? I got to attract strangers. I got to keep my acquaintances engaged, and I got to offer great, I've got to introduce my new product and service to my BFFs. And I've got to do it, at 3 different levels, right? Because you're not going to speak to your strangers, and you're not offering your strangers the same things that you're offering your acquaintances or your BFFs, right? So you've got to be having these multiple channels of communications going simultaneously during your launch, so that you've got this cycle of people who are always coming in, that you're building relationships with, that you're nurturing, that you're moving them down the chain to your BFF, right? This is what marketing is. This is the state of where you are. So when you're about to launch your product and service, you really do need to be thinking about your communication channels. That's the reason why I brought it in early. Wanted you to think about it early in day 2. Is most people, they launch a product, they just put it on their website, they may tell their friends and family, they post on their Facebook page, and that's it. And they wonder why it's not successful. Well, your friends and family, God love them, they're probably not your ideal client, right? They support you because they love you, but that's not who you need to be making money from. You need to be targeting the people that you created the product for. I'm not saying that you didn't create the product for your friends and family, but there's so many of them that you can do, right? Unless you've got really expensive products and your friends and family are buying it, your friends and family are not going to make your business successful, right? So I really wanted you to think about what it's going to take for you to be able to, 1, attract strangers, 1, create a communication channel for you to be consistently in front of your existing customers, and then also the people that you've just met, who you've moved from stranger to acquaintance, right? So I've given you a lot of different ideas. I've given you paid channels for you to think about. I've given you relationship building channels that you can be thinking about it. You can be thinking about, like, the ambassador, having a brand ambassador, having affiliates, having a referral program. These are all avenues for you to communicate your different offers to, and you need to pick from multiple of them. I don't want you to just pick one. I want you to pick multiple channels, and I want you to develop those channels out. And what I mean by developing those channels, there is a strategy that you should use for all of them. Let's take, for example, my superpower is Facebook ads. There's a strategy for how you attract strangers through Facebook ads. That's the reason why I had you create the stranger offer. You do not start hard selling to strangers. You do not start saying, I've got this great package that costs, $12.99, sign up with me, to somebody who doesn't know a thing about you, right? You've got to start with an introductory offer. That is the reason why you have your stranger offer. Paid advertising, the reason why it's so effective is because you're able to target people based on characteristics that meet your ideal client. You're able to zone in on them, find them like a needle in a haystack. You're able to find them like, laser target, find them with Facebook targeting and or any other paid advertising strategy. Google AdWords is another way. That's more passive than it is aggressive targeting like Facebook has. LinkedIn has a way to do targeting. Instagram's targeting is done through Facebook as well. But the point that I'm trying to make is paid advertising, thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, depending on how much money you want to allocate to attracting strangers in terms of being able to get in front of your offer. Your most valuable asset when you're launching a product is the number of people that know, like, and trust you. And the only way that you can increase the number of people that know, like, and trust you is to get in front of multiple people so that you can start to build a relationship. So hopefully that makes sense, right? Paid advertising is not the only way. There are organic ways to build traffic, right? Or to find traffic. You can go through Instagram and you can find people through hashtagging, right? Those are more time consuming in terms of building that relationship and finding those people. But you can do that. You can do word of mouth. But again, word of mouth is passive. No, let me rephrase that. Word of mouth is passive. And what I mean by passive is that you do a service for somebody, they like you, and then they spread the word, right? So you have to rely on someone else liking your service and then spreading the word about your service. Now, granted, if you're doing a great job, they're going to spread the word, right? Because people love to share good news, unless, of course, you're in the beauty industry. I don't know why people don't like to share their hairstylists. They always want to keep their hairstylists to themselves, but I digress. My point is word of mouth is passive. That's not aggressive advertising, right? That's not aggressive marketing. It works, it's effective, but it takes a long time. And again, you're not getting in front of thousands of people with word of mouth. You're getting in front of, at best, hundreds, depending on how big your pool of people are and how aggressive you are pushing them to spread the word. All right, you've got paid and non-paid, right? I've given you a whole list of items. Let me refer back to my list of items so that I am not speaking from. I've given you marketing channels from a free offer perspective, what you can do. You can do paid ads to attract strangers. You can do word of mouth, right? So you can start telling people that you have this information when you pass out your business cards. That's a way of spreading the news about what your offer is. Social media activity. And what I mean by social media awareness activity is, let's say, for example, Nicole, I think you were talking about in your video just now, I haven't finished watching it, but what you had said that you were trying to decide, should you do do your webinar on your Facebook page or build a list, right? And so at the stranger offer level, everybody, your goal at this level is to build a list. It's to build a list of people so that you can start building a relationship with, right? So once you have that list, then you can start to offer your acquaintance offers, right? These can either be low ticket offers or they can be additional free offers, trials, demos, whatever you want to do at this level. But at the first level, you are trying to get contact information, either phone numbers, emails, whatever is your process to contact people. That is what you're trying to do at this first level, is trying to get as many and to grow that list as large as you possibly can, so that you can start to develop the relationship. In the acquaintance phase, the types of things that I'm telling you and recommending for you in that phase that are really great is awareness, email campaigns, right? Sending out email campaigns, inviting them to webinars, inviting them to training seminars, letting them know, hey, I'm there. Facebook groups are also a great place for you to continue to nurture your community, right? So once you get that email address, you invite them to your Facebook group so that you can start to really nurture them. They can get a sense of what your personality is. They can get a sense of who you are. And you can then start to extend more offers, get more commitment from them. All right, so let me pause, make sure. All right, so want to get some engagement here. Are you guys following me? Do you have any questions? Is this making sense? So please reply in comments. I've got the comments up this time. So let me know if this is making sense before I go on. Goal in stranger offer is for you to get contacts. So you need a channel that is going to allow you to get contacts. Word of mouth is a channel, but you better damn well be getting contacts in that word of mouth. You better be going out. If you're going to be talking about your products and services to strangers that you meet, then you need to be exchanging information. You need to be talking about your free offer or your information offer, but you need to be getting their phone number or their email address, right? And then adding it to your list if you're doing it face to face. If you're doing it in an automated fashion, right? I don't recommend you purchasing email lists because it's against anti-spam laws. Don't go out trying to purchase lists. Legitimately build your list yourself. And the best way to do that is through creating some sort of stranger offer funnel like I've been talking about. Other ways to do that is to do partnerships, right? You can build partnerships with influencers. So what I mean by an influencer is if you are a YouTuber or an Instagrammer and you see somebody who has a really big following on Instagram or YouTube, what you do is you reach out to them and you pitch them and say, can you sponsor my product? There usually is a fee for that, but they usually will endorse your product for a fee. They'll tell you what their fee is. They'll tell you whatever it is. They'll tell you exactly what their requirements are. People with millions of followers or hundreds of thousands of followers, those are considered influencers. And they usually have a process by which they will pitch other people's products. All you have to do is reach out to them and let them know what it is that you're doing. But again, that's a development of a relationship, right? You have to actually reach out to them, find out what their process is, and pitch them, right? Why do they want to endorse you? Why is your product so good, right? So you need to actually sell your product to them in terms of them attaching their name to you. So I can see the comments on my phone today. I don't know what happened yesterday. Anyway, so that is what you want to do when you're talking about the attracting strangers, right? You can do it through influencers. Now, when you've got your core offer, I really think that you need to be reserving influencers or partnerships for your core offer, because what's going to happen is if you've got somebody who's an influencer that you decide to partner with, by virtue of the fact that they recommend your product to them, people will buy because they already have a strong know, like, and trust with their following, right? So if you do partnerships with people, I would recommend don't try and sell your free offer. Go to either your acquaintance offer or your BFF offer and make sure that you've got some way that you can introduce yourself into that influencers group so that they can get your face and then they can make that bridge quicker. Again, you can't go from stranger to BFF, but what I'm saying is what you really want that influencer or partner to do is really be pitching your core offer and making sure that they have a process by which that they'll be introducing you and your products into their group so that those people will convert. Hopefully that makes sense. This is a pretty simple one. You guys just have to pick which ones you want to go after. Again, one of the other things that I want to mention is that when people launch, they try and do it on a $0 budget. And although it can be done, however, your expectations need to be set based on how much you're investing. If you're not investing anything in your launch, you should not have this huge expectation of a huge launch in terms of sales, right? You need money to be able to make money. That is a fact, and there's no getting around that. So what I want to tell you is that if you're operating on a zero to shoestring budget, you should be considering your launch maybe an introductory launch, right? A launch where you're just trying to get a couple of sales, and you're going to do that through word of mouth, right? You're going to go out and you're going to meet people and you're going to pitch your products and services and build that relationship with them. And your goal is to get a couple of sales. But if you're trying to get hundreds of sales, multiple hundreds of sales as a part of your launch, you're trying to get a bunch of pre-sales, you really need to put some dollars accordingly towards your launch, right? And you need to put those dollars towards marketing, right? And at every level. I'm not talking about just, running ads for your stranger offer. When we get through the rest of the challenge, we're going to be talking about how we celebrate, how do we get people hyped up, how do we get them revved up, right? So there's going to be a series of things that you're going to need to do in order to do that. So that's going to take money, right? It's going to take money, it's going to take time, it's going to take resources. So again, you think you're going to launch and you don't have dollars set aside, you don't have time set aside, you don't have resources set aside to be able to dedicate to your launch. You need to then evaluate how big of a launch you want this to be. Now, success is defined by you, right? By the fact that you had a few sales does not make you unsuccessful in your launch, right? You could just be trying this out and see that you can that you're validating all of your marketing, you're validating your messaging, your copy, your images, all of that. And your goal is maybe to only get 5 or 6 sales, right? Or 5 or 10 sales. And you're going to do that all through a manual process. That's absolutely okay to do, but be conscious about that. Be very clear about that. Don't be disappointed in your launch if you've only got a couple of sales and you've had a $0 budget and the only thing that you've been able to do is get out, 1 or 2 times in a 4-week period to talk to people. Don't be disappointed by that launch. That to me is a pretty good launch. If you're able to get a couple of sales and you didn't aggressively go out there and, meet as many people as you can and start developing a relationship with as many people and you actually sold something, you should pat yourself on the back, right? Because you were able to successfully get your point across and sell that product to someone, right? That's a good sale. Then if you want to increase your sales, you then need to increase your dollars and increase the amount of effort that it takes and your span of influence, that you've increased the number of people that are aware of your product, that are aware that you exist in the market, and that you're developing more relationships. So again, this is all a numbers game, ladies. I don't want you to think it's anything other than that. This is a numbers game from the beginning to the end. You want to have, let's say you want to have 10 people, strangers. I'm not talking people that you know, strangers to your offer. You need to at least be talking to about 100 people, right? It's just the way the math works in the conversion rates. That's just standard. And that really depends on how good of a salesperson you are. So let me see if you guys are making any comments. I don't think so. So again, pick your channels. Make sure you understand which channels you're going to be going after. Are you going to be doing paid strategies? Are you going to be doing organic, which is non-paid, right? Are you going to be doing this by yourself? Are you going to look for partners? Or are you going to look for people that are going to be champions for your products and services? So either through an affiliate program or an ambassador program. Partnerships, right? So those would be third-party people who will help you promote your product and sell your product for you. Are you going to go through paid advertising to attract volume? Or are you going to do it where you are just going to try and meet people as many, or go through influencers who already have your potential target audience? Think through this really long and hard, ladies. When I say long and hard, I don't mean, weeks. But really think through this in terms of what are the ways that you're going to communicate, because those ways are going to dictate what activities you're going to have to do in this launch cycle, right? And let me give you some examples. If you decide you're going to do paid advertising, right? There's a whole paid advertising strategy. There's activities that you have to do in order to get a paid ad up and running. If you decide that you want to do an ambassador, right? You want to hire people, women, men, female, children, whatever. You want to hire people to be ambassadors, right? You've got to create some sort of ambassador program that's going to be beneficial to them. What are they going to get? So you've got to create a program, right? So there's going to be some activities around that. There's going to be marketing to be able to attract the people to your ambassadors. Unless, of course, you have people that you already have in mind. If you want to do a partnership, you're going to have to create a pitch. Don't just go to a person. Don't just go to a person and just say, hey, I've got my product. I want you to be a partner of mine. Partnerships, the reason why partnerships are good is because it's a win-win for both of you. So you really need to think through what that partnership's beneficial, mutually beneficial element is going to be. How's it going to benefit you? How's it going to benefit the partner? You got to talk through what that looks like, right? If you're going to do social media awareness, what is the content you're going to post, right? How often are you going to post? Where are you going to post? Are you going to create your own environment for posting, right? So these channels really define the work that you've got to do in preparation for launching. So do not take this lightly. Do not just say, oh, I'm just going to do word of mouth. Because even if you decide, or I'm going to do my own foot traffic, right? I'm just going to do my own individual sales. Then you need to still come up with an activity plan on how often are you going to go and hit the streets, right? Where are you going to go hit the streets? What are you going to say to them when you do hit the streets? Are you going to give them any information when you hit the streets, right? Where are you going to send them when you have this exchange of information? Are you going to still send them to a landing page? Are you going to give them a flyer with them information, right? You still need to think through it. The point that I'm trying to make is you got to pick the channels. And then once you pick the channels, that's going to then help formulate what plan of action you need to take based on each of the channels that you've picked. Again, don't take it lightly that you need to have multiple channels. You need to be coming at this from multiple angles. This is if you're trying to sell more than 1 to 2 products when you launch. If you're trying to get pre-sales and you're trying to attract strangers and you're trying to do volume, you need to be coming at this from multiple angles. Let me give you an example of what I do when I do a launch. I start my launches 60 days to 90 days before I'm ready to launch the actual program, right? I didn't tell you guys that yesterday, but I want to give you context, right? I do not build a program and then a week later release it, right? Because every launch that I'm doing, I'm trying to attract strangers to me and to my brand. So there's a cycle that I go through. That first phase, so that phase I talked to you guys about yesterday, is about attraction. So I'm about attracting my strangers to me. So I have to create an offer, to create an entire cycle around what that offer looks like, define what my offer is, create an entire, I do paid advertising. I do a whole ad campaign around that. In the second phase, I do some sort of acquaintance offer, just like you guys do. Usually it could be a challenge like this. It could be webinars. It could be training. For Facebook Ad School, I did a series of trainings in a 6-week period. I think it was 6 weeks. 6 weeks period before I launched the actual program. And then I launched the program, right? But that launch, using Facebook Ad School as an example, 60-day cycle, right? I started 60 days before the course actually started, and I was ready to go 60 days beforehand. Don't take it lightly. Don't take it lightly. The channels that I used for marketing was Facebook advertising, Facebook group, Facebook posting, Instagram posting, email campaigns, right? Those were the 5 that I chose, right, for my Facebook Ad School. I'm going to be picking other channels as I go into 2018. I don't do Instagram really hard. I don't do lives on Instagram. I don't do any of that. But 2018, I'm going to be picking up doing more of that. But what I'm saying to you ladies is that the channels all require work. It requires time and it requires development of relationships, right? To move people into the purchasing, right? I'm happy, right, with Facebook Ad School and the results that I got with Facebook Ad School. I broke even in terms of the dollars that I invested. I made a little bit of a profit. This is the second version of that class. And I know what I'm going to do. So when I get ready to scale it up, I know exactly how I'm going to scale it up, right? The next time I offer the class, it's going to be a different flavor of the class. But my point is that all was a cycle, right? Same thing with your launches. You've got to create a cycle. Strangers, acquaintances, BFFs. How are you going to interact with them, relate with them, and how are you going to be communicating the offer? So let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm going to pause for a second. There's a lot of talking I did. I always astound myself how long I talk. I will tell you, like 18 months ago, this time you couldn't get me on a video. All right, so Nicole, I think you just said you opened up. Lila, I know you just joined and you said that I think you replied that you were thinking about doing brand ambassadors. And the minute you said that, Lila, hopefully you're still on. The minute you said that, immediately came to mind that Mermaid for a Day. Like, and I know that's not brand ambassadors, but man, if you had all over your little Hawaii island little girls who have said that they were a mermaid for a day, what a big showing that would do is to get these little girls dressed up and do like photography for these little mermaid girls. And these girls are your ambassadors. Again, brand ambassadors need to be more than cute, but immediately that was what popped into my head when you said brand ambassador. I thought of little girls, in mermaids, representing your company, and representing your retreats and all of that, and how cute that would be. But nonetheless, I sort of digressed there, Lila. But brand ambassadors, I think that's a great idea for you, because I think you actually have a community of being a mermaid, and relating to the concept of mermaid is not something that's foreign in Hawaii. So having women who would want to be sponsors and speak about the retreat and speak about what it is that you do, I think would be a great idea for you. You just really need to be building that program out and really defining what the program is. What's the win-win? What do the brand ambassadors get? Why do they want to be an ambassador besides looking really cute in those mermaid bottoms? But I think that's a really good idea. So let me see who else is on. Andrea, what about you? Have you thought about what yours are? Hillary, how about you? What about your communication channels? Have you thought about which ones you want to go with your launch? There's always a bit of a lag, so I always have to wait. So reply in the comments if you guys are kind of quiet today. Make sure my phone's not hot and about to blow up. It is hot, but it's not. Doesn't seem to be acting up. All right, if you guys are commenting, wait a minute, my screen is frozen. Yeah, my screen was frozen, so I was missing you guys. All right, hold on. Let me see if you guys are saying anything. There we go. YouTube fan page, Facebook ads are where you're going to start. Okay, yes. I think those are all great places for you to start. Okay. Hillary, why don't you start typing what your 3 categories are, and then I'll reply to that. Nicole, what I will tell you is for YouTube is great. Your ability to reach people through YouTube is going to be used based on your usage of keywords. Your fan page is not going to get any traction in terms of visibility unless you absolutely do Facebook ads. So the one thing that I would recommend for you, Nicole, is to build a Facebook group, because you are dealing with people who have body issues, right? You want them to be you want them to be healthy, and they have probably body image issues, I think, based on what we talked about. So having a support group would be great for you to start to get people into that group, and you start communicating with them, giving them tips, giving them encouragement, that kind of stuff. So your Facebook group that you create, if that's something that you have the bandwidth to manage, don't start it unless you do have the bandwidth to manage it, because it does take a lot of time to nurture that group and to keep people engaged and all of that. But I do recommend a Facebook group, particularly when it comes to fitness kind of stuff. Even if you're not doing exercises, I still think that it's a good idea. Okay. All right. So Hillary, you said you're going to go through your Facebook friends list. Your friends list on Facebook and making them visible and interacting. I don't understand what that means. What does that mean? And Hillary, I don't know that I know what you're releasing. What is your product? Yeah, Nicole, for sure, a Facebook group, I think, is something you should do. So when you start attracting those strangers, you want to funnel them straight, get their email address, funnel them straight to your Facebook group. You make paper dolls. Okay, so you're going to, do you already have a pretty big following, Hillary, in your group? Do you already have an email list? Okay. I mean, let me just say this. Facebook is cracking down on. So here's the evolution of Facebook over the last at least 7 years that I've been working with them. 7 years ago when I started, Facebook introduced the concept of Facebook. I mean, I don't think it was exactly 7 years ago, but when I first started, I got introduced to the concept of Facebook business pages. You could build a fan page and have a really large following on that fan page. And you need to create the list. IBF Beauty. No, you need to, you need to create the list. Okay, so you need to create a list of people. So you need an offer for which to attract people to create the list. All right, but this is the evolution of Facebook, just so everyone has this framework. You could do Facebook ads. You could have a fan page. This was like 7 years ago, right? You could have a fan page. You build it up to thousands of people, and building it up to thousands of people, every post that you did, your thousands of people would see that post. Fast forward 7 years later, I have my fan page is 2,000 deep. You can expect 8 to 10% of the people on your fan page to organically see. That's great. You get 10,000 followers. If that's on your Facebook page, you can expect 10 to 8% of those followers to actually see your post on your fan page organically without paid traffic, meaning that you're investing in Facebook advertising. So whatever the size of your fan page is organically, and that means for free, where you don't have to pay for Facebook ads, it's going to be anywhere from 8 to 10% of your followers will see that organically. So when I say you want to be able to attract strangers, right? And it's not just attracting strangers, right? Because it doesn't do you any good to have 10,000 followers and none of them are converted, right? I'm not saying that's your case, Hillary, but I'm using that as an example. I have 2,000 followers, right? And I'm not able to convert those into customers, right? 2,000 followers is just a number. I don't really need likes. I could really give a shit if no one likes my page, right? I really just want people that I can help, who are my ideal customer and who are buying my programs, right? Who are that I'm able to help. I want to be able to provide value and that I'm able to help. So I'm not in it for the likes. I'm not in it for the emoticons. I'm not in it for the gifts. I'm in it for the conversions. I'm in it for my ability to be able to reach and actually have an impact on people's lives based on the services and products that I sell. And that is what you should be in it for as well. So if you have a business page, 8 to 10% organically, you're going to have to pay for traffic. If you have a personal page and you're advertising on your personal page, Facebook is just now, I want to say in the last 4 weeks, started cracking down, shutting people's accounts down to try and boost, post, or advertise on their personal page, not showing the content on their personal page. So, and the maximum number of people that you can get on your personal page is 5,000 on your personal page. So Facebook advertising is economical, right? You just got to know how to do it. So I recommend, if you really want to use that as your medium, that you should really be trying to invest in the advertising. You just got to learn how to do it, and it's not difficult. All right. Okay, so you've got one of your pages has got 10,000 followers. Yeah, I mean, the followers are great. I mean, I'm not going to lie. The numbers, I used to love the numbers. When I started 7 years ago, I really liked getting all the likes. It just made me feel so good. So I checked the damn thing like every freaking 5 minutes. Like, who liked my post? Who liked my post? And at the end of the day, likes are great, but they really don't, what does that mean? Direct on timeline or shared? What is the question in regard to Hillary? I must have said something that spurred it, but I don't know what I said that spurred the question. if it's in reference to my statistic in terms of how Facebook will organically show your content, is let's say you do a post and you look at the post on your business page, you can see how many people see the post. It's not a lot unless you boost the post on the crackdown. So the crackdown is on the personal page. Because what happened is when Facebook locked down the business page and stopped showing the post organically, people were like, bunk that. I'm going to just go to my personal page because everybody who's on my personal page sees my content. And now you've got all these personal pages that are full of business content. People selling stuff on their personal page, just talking about their business stuff on their personal page. And so what they're doing is they're even limiting what can be seen on somebody's personal page. What they're showing your people on your personal page is even being limited now. And I know people whose accounts have been shut down. Their ad accounts, their personal ad accounts have been shut down because they're promoting stuff on their personal page that's business related. Facebook wants their money. And, I don't blame them. I like Zuckerberg. I think he's amazing. I'm going to tell you why I like him. Because he's made it affordable for me, a small business owner who 10 years ago, when I first started my first small business, and I thought I have to have $1,000 to do a radio ad for it to be seen and heard. And I was like, $1,000? I don't forget $1,000. I think the cheapest radio ad I could get was for $500. The cheapest direct mail campaign I could do was like $600. And it wasn't even targeting the people. I mean, it was demographic is based on age and sex. I don't mean Facebook jail. I mean, Facebook locked their ad account, meaning they can't run Facebook ads. They ran an ad, boosted a business related ad on their personal page, and Facebook closed their account down, their ad account down, banned them from doing ads personally. Now we got around that. I was able to get around it for them, but that's what Facebook did. Facebook does not want you using your personal account for business. People have been doing it and are doing it. I'm just saying, if you're doing it because you're avoiding to spend money, you're just hampering yourself. Because you can make money. You can make money not spending money. I'm not saying you can't, but why go through the bullshit when you can spend a little bit of money and make money and scale it up, right? If I knew I could spend, let's say, for example, if I could spend $200 on ads and knew that would get me 300 to 500 new emails, I would do it every day, all day. Because I know that I can nurture that email list and I can convert that email list into paying clients. So if it costs me $200 to do that, and based on whatever I'm selling a couple of $1,000s worth of products, services, whatever that is, I would do that every day, every single day. So the reason why people are hesitant to do Facebook ads is because they've spent money on it and they don't know what they're doing. So they're effectively wasting money on it. So again, you can go about it free. It takes more time and you run the risk of getting banned. Now, Facebook jail, they'll put you in jail if you're massively posting, messaging people, putting inappropriate content on, you've infringed copyright and that kind of stuff. That's when you'll go to jail. I'm talking about banning your account, like shutting your account down. Okay. All right. So do we have any other questions? All right. I don't know if I've lost people. I just hate the fact that my feed and the notes are not coming in as good as I would like them to. All right, we've been on for an hour. Okay, so don't forget we've got prizes. First prize is $200 off of Ready to Launch product takeoff program for the person who does every day of the challenge and gets the most points. Second prize is a $50 Amazon gift certificate. Third prize is $25 Amazon gift certificate. So do not forget to post what your day 2 communication channels are. Do not forget to use the hashtag Ready to Launch. Sorry, I'm having a hard time breathing. ready to launch. And if you have any feedback that you want me to give you on the channels that you've selected, please just tag my name and then I will give you that feedback. It's not too late to do day one. So if you have not done your day one video, please still do your day one video. I'm still anxious to watch your day one videos and give you any feedback on the different offers that you're creating to your stranger, acquaintance, and BFF. All right, it was great talking to you guys, and look out for day two tomorrow. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.